It's now time to dish in the Winn Dixie kitchen, and today, the man, the myth, the legend, Chef Curtis Stone. Welcome back to River City Live. You know, it's fun having you at the top of the show, but this is where we all want you to be. That's in the kitchen.
In the kitchen.
And I understand you have an amazing game day recipe that we're going to talk about and eat today.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's the start of college football season.
Yeah, tonight. Also, the Jags game, preseason game, is on Channel 4 tonight, so...
Make sure you're watching.
Absolutely.
There's nothing better, in my humble opinion, than hosting a party or going to a party, and just that delicious food. When you get it right, it's so good. So I'm going to show you how to make these incredible meatball subs. I've got some meatballs in here, and check out the caramelization on them. I'm going to show you how to make them in just a sec, but you want to get them beautiful and caramel on the outside, so that beautiful brown gives a little bit of sweetness to it. And then we're just going to add some tomato sauce. Okay, and we're going to let that, turn that right down now, and just let that sort of come up to a real gentle simmer with the meatballs inside. So this is how you make them, because we're going to make a meatball parm sub. You start off with some ground beef. This entire recipe feeds a family of 4 for under $10, like all my recipes do, when you go in and get them at Winn Dixie. So a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper.
And this meat right here, the 80/20 fresh ground chuck, it's $1.50 a pound when you spend $30 at Winn Dixie. So that is a great deal.
It's such a great deal.
And it goes on until Tuesday, so you have time to pick it up for the Labor Day weekend.
Oh yeah, so you're going to season it, a little bit of ricotta. Okay, so this is a little bit different. And then I take some breadcrumbs and throw some milk, just a couple of tablespoons of milk into those breadcrumbs. Here, you give that a stir for me. Some fresh garlic that I've chopped up, and a little bit of fresh onion, which I've got down below you there, right? So the fresh onion goes in as well. Now, the key to making good meatballs is you don't want them to be tough, right? You want them to be nice and soft. So you throw your breadcrumbs in that's been marinated with the milk, and then 1 egg. We're going to toss that in there as well. Just give that a real quick beat. So salt, pepper, onions, garlic, breadcrumbs that you've softened with a little milk, and an egg.
And an egg, at the top of the show, you're talking about, that's one of the things you always want in your fridge.
You always want that in your fridge. It just helps bind the meatballs together. Now, once you get it all in there, you want to do as little work as you can, right? Because effectively, what's going to happen is if you overwork that meat, it's going to become sort of tough and hard.
So the trick is in the mixing then?
The trick is in the mixing. So give it a nice light mix, and then effectively what you're going to do is form your meatballs. So you can use a pair of disposable gloves if you want, or you can just get in there with your hands. But once you've sort of got that consistency, stop mixing it. All right, and then you literally just form those balls together until they look just like this.
And let's talk about the size, because that's important too.
Yeah.
Because if you go too small, it'll probably dry out.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
You want them, and it depends a little bit on the size of your buns, because we're going to do this as a sub or a sandwich. So you see I've got these little rolls here. So you don't want them too large. So what I'm going to do next is pick these up. And
this is perfect for tailgating, this size.
Oh yeah, it's
brilliant. Sandwich?
It's the perfect way to do it. So you go ahead, and it's a little messy eating it, but that's kind of what I love about it. And like I said, because we haven't overworked the actual meatballs, they're beautiful and soft still. So you go ahead and get that in there, and then next, just a little spoon of sauce over the top of each one. And like I said, this is one of my October recipes at Winn Dixie that you can go in. It's a feed your family for under 10 recipe, so you can literally feed a family of 4 for $10, which is awesome.
And these are great because, again, it's affordable, and it's a healthy, nutritious meal, and it doesn't take long to do, but it has so much flavor. It's restaurant style, better than restaurant style.
Right.
Made by a professional. Yeah.
Now, I forgot. Normally, I'd put a little bit of Parmesan cheese into the recipe and a little basil as well. So because
we're just going to go right on top. That works.
Right over the top, and it'll give you the same delicious result. So a little bit of parm and then a little bit of mozzarella, and you throw it straight under the broiler.
And I bet you kids like this too. You have 2, I have 4. They're always, you know, they're finicky on what they like to eat, but this looks like something they would.
Why do you have to always make it a competition?
Yeah.
Yeah, kids absolutely love anything textural. So I'm see how I'm squashing that down a little? You pick the entire thing up, and then we're going to drop it under the broiler, and that goes under there for just a minute. You want to just sort of soften that mozzarella cheese. And what happens is it just sort of oozes down the side. So it's literally less than 60 seconds it's in there for.
Again, I'm always amazed at how efficient all this whole process is. Now, it's probably because of you, if I try this at home. I'd get there. Look a little messy.
No, you get there.
But you know, not too much with the ingredients. It's kind of a simple process, but the end result is delicious food.
You know what you need? You need good ingredients. You need a recipe that's easy to follow and doesn't complicate it too much and actually makes your life easier rather than harder.
And Winn Dixie supplies all that. WinnDixie.com is the website. The recipe's on there. Also, RiverCityLiveTV.com. Just click under recipes and you'll have the recipe there.
Recipe right there.
So we have, are these about ready yet?
Let's have a look. We need another 20 seconds.
We can do that. Smoke if you got them.
I put a little basil in there as well. So the basil and the tomato sauce, you could throw that back over the top. I've got a few of these bun tops here that we've just toasted.
And how did you heat these up then?
So all I did was just brush them with a little butter, or you could give them a quick spray, and just toasted them in a pan. But you could also toast them on the broiler.
Like olive oil pan
or
something like that?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we're good. So like I said, you just want to soften that mozzarella.
Wow.
So check that out. Whoop! That's mine. And then you go ahead, drop that on top. I've got you a little plate here, standing by. And here's the fun part, watching you eat this on national television.
Oh, wow. Do I have a bib? All right, well, thanks again, Curtis. I will try this. We'll be back right after this, right after Take a Bite.
It's a perfect tailgate.
That was so good.